Okay, let's go backwards in these. First of all, in terms of Bibles, when I'm looking at Bibles, yeah, John 1 is usually a verse I'll go to. Genesis 1, right? Genesis 1 in the intro, how they translate this is usually going to dictate a little bit of what I believe. Hebrews, for sure. Hebrews, the end of 8 into 9 to see whether or not the word covenant is there. I like to see how they do Mark 7. And these are places where most Christian-led translation boards will make the same what I consider to be errors, right? Romans 3, and Romans 8 are places where I want to go. I want to see exactly what they're doing in those places. So, and actually, I have this somewhere. I'll look for it. Maybe next episode I'll be able to grab it. But I have a list somewhere. I have a list of these are the places I'm going to go. If I pick up a new Bible, pull out the list. Here are the places I'm going to go, and I'll go look for that. One of this issue about what Dr. Rudolph would consider to be Jewish, right? Is 90% bloodline Jewish? What about 50%? What about 5%? What if a person has 2% Jewish blood? Does that make them Jewish? And should they be keeping the Torah? I cannot speak for Dr. Rudolph. I don't know what he would say. I haven't asked him this. And I agree. I think that Rudolph has some great things to say. So I'm not trying to ever throw shade at Rudolph here. But it's a great question because ultimately the other thing what this issue brings up is what about the people in the church that don't know that they have Jewish blood? What about the people in the church who do know that they have Jewish blood but don't seem to care? Right? You have Jacob Cohen is going to the First Presbyterian Church of God or whatever, right? According to Rudolph, and actually, so I did ask Rudolph this. I asked him, and this is actually the next article I want to get to in this series of Messiah Matters that we're doing right now. So I asked him, what about the Jews in the church? Shouldn't they be keeping Torah? And he said, well, Kinzer, and if you don't know who Mark Kinzer is, you should. But Kinzer wrote an article on this exact topic. He sent it to me. Now, I haven't actually cracked it open yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be some really good reading that we can do on this show. Okay, so great question there. Finally, designations in heaven. Now, I take maybe a different view than many people on the afterlife. I don't think that the afterlife is much different than this life, except for there's no sin. And what I mean by that is, obviously we know that there won't be marriage, there won't be childbirth, right? Because all souls will have been born and everyone will have been redeemed. No sin, so we won't have to worry about a lot of different things. I think that there won't be separation between us and God because of the idea of sin, and therefore we won't have the laws of purity in terms of having to atone for physical things within a temple space, right? There won't be clean and unclean because everything will be clean because there won't be any death anymore, right? So there are clear differences. But I think that in the afterlife, and this is, I think, where I get a little bit I'm different than the mainstream idea of the afterlife. I do not think that we're floating on clouds with harps and wings. That's not what I think is going on. I think that we live on this earth, and people are going to say there's a new heaven and new earth. Yeah, I think that the new heaven and the new earth is this earth without sin. In other words, the idea of fire and purifying and that kind of stuff, purifying this earth. Okay, but ultimately, I think we still have jobs. Right? Adam and Eve had a job. What was their job? To tend to a garden and to keep the garden. And so it seems like they worked the ground. I think that we will still do things like, I think we'll still eat. I think we will still live lives. And I think, honestly, I think that this idea of greater and lesser, I think people will think that they are greater if they live in the land. I think that people who don't live in the land, why? Because I think that Yeshua will reside in the land. And so I think that Yeshua will reside. Now, this gets pretty sticky because I actually do believe that there will be a temple. I don't think that we will be bringing sacrifices to the temple like we do now, and I don't think that the temple space will be like it's supposed to be now, where there's a separation. But I believe that Yeshua will live somewhere, and that place will essentially be the temple. And so people will go up to the temple, right? People will come from north, south, east, and west to dine with the patriarchs, right? And I think that there will be people who live in land that is not Israel. And I think that will be that will be seen as less. Continue listening to this conversation by clicking the full show link on the left side of your screen, or check out the video on the right that YouTube thinks you'll like. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you never miss content from Messiah Matters.